Well, hello, all of my students. I hope you're having a fantastic day and welcome back to another English lesson here on the channel where I have the opportunity to help you improve your English comprehension, vocabulary, and your English fluency. Today, I have an intermediate level English story that we are going to read and repeat today. So I hope you're ready to have a great time with today's story. Be sure to check out some of my links down in the description if this is your first time here on the channel. I have plenty of playlists that you can use to study and improve your English. One of those links is my Parlay with Jay channel, and I do readings or English listening lessons throughout the week to help you to strengthen your listening skills. Okay, before we get into today's story, be sure to hang around until the end and I will test your comprehension of today's story. So I hope you're ready for a little bit of laughter and learning. I have my water here with me. Let's get into or dive into today's story. Vicky had been searching for a new home for months. The high prices in the real estate market made her feel desperate. Let's read and repeat. Vicky had been searching for a new home for months. The high prices in the real estate market made her feel desperate. Now, because this is an intermediate level, I'll read a little bit faster than I normally do with my beginner level lessons. So, when you're feeling desperate, you're to the point to where sometimes you think you may need to do something that you normally would not do. Okay? You're desperate to do something or to accomplish something. So Vicky has been looking for a home for a while and hasn't had anything. So she's desperate to find a home where she may settle for something that she really doesn't like, or she may pay for something a little bit more than what she would normally pay for because she is feeling desperate. She really needs a home. She really wants a home. Sometimes you can be desperate, not just for looking for a home, but when it comes to satisfying your hunger. You may be hungry and you're desperate to get something to eat. And you may not normally eat McDonald's, but because you're desperate, you'll go ahead and get a cheeseburger from McDonald's. So again, when you're desperate, you'll do something or consider doing something that you normally would not do. She was constantly outbid on properties she liked, and the high interest rates made mortgages unaffordable. Every day, she scoured online listings and attended open houses, but nothing seemed to work. So notice here, Vicky was constantly outbid on properties she liked. So when a person is outbid, let's say I'm looking for a home and I found one that I want. And so I tell the real estate agent, I'll give $250,000 for the home. But then Someone else comes along and says, I'll give $265,000 for the same home. Then I have been outbid. Okay. Someone overbid, or now I'm the underbidder. So when you have been outbid, someone has paid more money for something than you have or you're willing to. It's just like if you've used eBay, they have where you can place bids on items that you want, and the bid may be $7, and you bid $7 and think you're going to win, and someone waits till the last second to bid $9, and then you've waited 4 days to get outbid $2 in the last moment. Oh, that's a feeling I do not like. Okay, high interest rates made mortgages unaffordable. So when something is unaffordable, you don't have the money for it. Okay, it may cost $200,000, but you may have $100,000. So you can't afford to purchase it because you don't have all of the money. Now, notice this vocabulary word here. She scoured online listings. She scoured. So when you scour, you look for something diligently. Okay. It's like when you go to the store and you're trying to find an item and you don't know what aisle it is on. You scour through the aisles trying to find paper plates. Am I the only one that still eats on paper plates, or is there anyone else out there who eats on paper plates? Okay, so when you scour, you're looking for something diligently. So an open house, when someone is selling a home here in America, oftentimes the owner or the real estate agent will have an open house. And an open house is when the house is available to be looked at a certain time. So the house is open for the general public to view and tour the home. So we call that here open house. Now, another way you can use open house, if your child is in school, let's say they're in middle school, elementary school, high school. So right before they open the school up to start the school year, they usually have orientation and what is often called open house. And so that's where the students and their families can come and tour the school, get a map, figure out where their classrooms are before school starts the next day. That's what we call open house. Let's continue. The sense of hopelessness grew as she faced repeated disappointments. Now, we call repeated disappointments turn downs. So Vicky kept being turned down for a home. One evening, while browsing or looking through listings, she noticed a house in a neighborhood she had never heard of. Okay, so when you find something that you have never heard of, we'd say, I didn't know, or that place was unheard of to me. Okay, let's continue. The price was surprisingly reasonable, and the house looked charming in photos. Curiosity piqued. She decided to visit the neighborhood the next day. Okay, so notice the price of the house was surprisingly reasonable. So she couldn't believe that the price was such a good price. It was reasonable. So she was expecting to pay $250, and the house was probably maybe 245 or maybe 253. And she would say, that's reasonable. That's okay. You know, that's affordable. Now, when a house looks charming or something looks charming, that's a word that we describe as something that is attractive, something that is nice, something that may be comfortable looking. Oh, that's a charming looking house, we may say. So it's something that looks comfortable. Okay. Now, it also says that Vicky's curiosity peaked. So she was to the point to where she saw the home and she was like, I didn't know that house was for sale. I wonder how many bedrooms it has. I wonder, does it have a large backyard? I wonder, does that house have a basement? Her curiosity peaked. That is a nice house, she might say. I wonder if it has hardwood floors. So now she's imagining things about the house. Her curiosity peaked. To her delight, it was a quiet and beautiful area. So it was a nice community, hidden away from the busy parts of the city. The house was just as lovely in person as it was in the pictures. Okay, let me describe something for you after reading these two sentences. When you find something that's hidden, it's nice, it's a good price, it's valuable, and people don't know about it, like this house that Vicky found, we would call that a hidden gem. Gem, like a stone, something valuable, a hidden gem. Not a gym, like a gym where you go to work out, but a hidden gem, gem. So a hidden gem is something that everyone has overlooked. And it's nice, it's valuable, it's something that's desirable. Oh, wow, that's a hidden gem. So, you know, I found my wife. She had 4 sisters who were all married, but I think she was the hidden gem. So it was 5 sisters. She was the one single and maybe the best one. A hidden gem. Okay. Or if you're car shopping, you might say, I can't believe I found this 2023 Corvette for only $15,000 and it has only 8,000 miles on it. Okay. You would say that's a hidden gem. I found a hidden gem. Or, man, it's a steal, you might say. Okay. Let's continue. After speaking with the real estate agent, Vicky learned that the house had been on the market for a while, but was overlooked because of its obscure location. She immediately felt a connection to the place and knew she had to act quickly. So notice the house was a hidden gem, as I just explained, and here's the reason. It was overlooked because of its obscure location. Obscure. Obscure. It sounds like a Q, but the SCU is skew. Skew. Obscure. So something that is obscure, it's not in a popular location. So the restaurant had 5-star reviews, but it was in an obscure location. Not many people knew about it. It's just like when I went to St. Louis last month. My wife and I found a restaurant that was in an obscure location. We passed by it twice and didn't even see it. It was hidden. But when you went inside the restaurant, oh, let me tell you, it was not only very charming inside, but the food was very, very good. But the location was obscure, okay? We thought it was an apartment building, but it was a restaurant. Now notice Vicky felt a connection, okay? So sometimes when we feel a connection, we say, I had a good feeling about it, okay? It was something off, you might say, or you might say, I knew I was making a good choice. I don't know why, but I had a good feeling, a good connection, okay? I'm so glad I didn't make that choice. I had a feeling it wasn't my best option, okay? She had to act quickly, okay? So when a person acts quickly, they move fast, okay? They don't hesitate. She had to hurry up and do something before someone else found the house. The next week was a whirlwind of paperwork and negotiations. Despite the initial stress, Vicky was finally able to purchase the house. All right, Vicky. Standing in her new home, Vicky felt a profound sense of relief and accomplishment. She was probably feeling like it's about time. She had overcome the challenges of the market and found, there it is, a hidden gem. Excellent job. Last sentence, the journey had been tough, but it was worth it in the end. Okay, so she went through a lot of trials, a lot of waiting, had to be patient, but it was worth it in the end because she found a home that she liked at a good price. Okay, let's read through today's story at a faster pace. I know I've been talking quickly, but remember, this is an intermediate level lesson. So let's read through even faster. The story is down in the description. Let's see if you can keep up as well as continue to comprehend. Vicky had been searching for a new home for months. The high prices in the real estate market made her feel desperate. She was constantly outbid on properties she liked, and the high interest rates made mortgages unaffordable. Every day she scoured online listings and attended open houses, but nothing seemed to work out. The sense of hopelessness grew as she faced repeated disappointments. One evening, while browsing listings, she noticed a house in a neighborhood she had never heard of. The price was surprisingly reasonable, and the house looked charming in the photos. Curiosity piqued. She decided to visit the neighborhood the next day. To her delight, it was a quiet and beautiful area hidden away from the busy parts of the city. The house was just as lovely in person as it was in the pictures. After speaking with the real estate agent, Vicky learned that the house had been on the market for a while, but was overlooked because of its obscure location. She immediately felt a connection to the place and knew she had to act quickly. The next week was a whirlwind of paperwork and negotiations. Despite the initial stress, Vicky was finally able to purchase the house. Standing in her new home, Vicky felt a profound sense of relief and accomplishment. She had overcome the challenges of the market and found a hidden gem. The journey had been tough, but it was worth it in the end. All right. So now let's go over a few quiz questions and test your comprehension. Number 1, answer these down in the description, or shall I say the comment section. What were the main challenges Vicky faced in her search for a new home? There was at least 2. She had at least 2 challenges. What were those main challenges? Number 2, how did Vicky eventually find the house she purchased? How did Vicky eventually find the house she purchased? And number 3, what emotions did Vicky experience throughout her journey to find a new home? So let's see if you can answer those down in the comments section. And let's see if you can get all of those right. I'm telling you, the housing market, it certainly is a strange time now. Houses here down in Georgia are very expensive compared to what they normally are, especially post or pre-pandemic. Okay. Let me know, how is the housing market in your area? How much are houses going for in your area? Usually here you can find a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house for around about $285, $275. Let me know what your area rates are looking like. Hey, don't forget, check out my Parlay with Jay channel. You can scan the QR code or take a screenshot and go over and enjoy those English listening lessons. With that being said, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have enjoyed today's lesson, and be sure to share it with a friend and join me on my next lesson. I hope to see you then.